Welcome to World Changers Bible School. I am Professor Anderson, and this course is the Book of Daniel. After many weeks of study, students were divided into teams and given an assignment. Each team must provide historical world events they believe fulfill the prophecy. Are you ready to learn? Please give a big roaring welcome to our first guest from Team C, Carolyn from Georgia. Welcome, Carolyn.
Thank you, Professor Anderson.
Carolyn, what chapter did your team focus on?
Our team focused upon chapter 11. However, the entire book of Daniel is a prophecy. Biblical prophecy is a real event, not a concocted idea. Do you know what 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 20 says?
Please share with us.
Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is a private interpretation. Therefore, we need public knowledge and the pages of history to unlock prophecy.
So let's get started.
Okay, chapter 11 opens with Daniel sharing the strength of prophecy to King Darius.
What is the strength of prophecy?
Revealed truth. Daniel revealed the dream of King Nebuchadnezzar in chapter 2, where God showed him the kingdoms and rulers who would rise, as well as fall. Babylon was the golden head of the statue. The Medes and Persian Empire was declared the silver kingdom. This kingdom was bonded by marriage, and a prophecy found in Isaiah chapter 45 verses 1 through 3, saying King Cyrus would come. Therefore, Daniel is explaining in verse 1 of chapter 11, what shall happen to the Medes and Persians' kingdom. Just like a Polaroid picture, Daniel explained to the king that many kings will come from Persia. Special note is made to the fourth king who shall stir up Greece. Now Greece is the kingdom of Alexander the Great, who will conquer the Persian kingdom in 331 BC.
What else can you tell us about Alexander the Great?
He represents the third prophetic nation of brass. Did you know Greece used brass helmets, swords, chest armor and shields? He also fits verses 3 and 4 of chapter 11 to perfection.
How does he fit perfectly?
Alexander wanted to revenge the destruction of Athens in his quest to conquer the world. Alexander did not provide an heir for his kingdom. Therefore, at the age of 32, his kingdom was divided and given to his 4 generals.
Well, thank you, Carolyn. You shared very detailed and specific world events to fulfill the prophecy of Daniel chapter 11.
The pleasure was all mine.
Our next guest from Team C is located in Louisiana. Fellow Lions, please help me welcome Sharon. Welcome, Sharon.
Thank you, Professor Anderson.
I understand your team has chosen chapter 11 from the book of Daniel. What world events would you like to share?
As we enter the book of Daniel chapter 11 verses 5 through 8, we are at the end of the Second Syrian War of 253 BC. This kingdom of the south is King Ptolemy, and the king of the north is Antiochus II. As part of the conditions to end the war, King Antiochus II had to marry the daughter of King Ptolemy, Bernice.
Was there a problem?
Let's just say a lot of people died unexpectedly. King Antiochus II, Queen Bernice and her son, little Antiochus, were all eliminated. Queen Liz's son Seleucus II was installed as king. This of course did not sit well with the family of Queen Bernice. Ptolemy III Ergetz succeeded their father and set about to avenge his sister's murder by invading Syria and having Lys killed.
Wasn't this a united country a few years before?
Yes. But once Ptolemy Isoter declared himself pharaoh of Egypt, civil war was constant. Which was why someone with a platform of peace was so attractive. I am referring to the man Daniel chapter 11 verses 20-23. Says he shall come in peaceably and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. Antiochus Epiphanes, this man was anything but peaceful.
What do you mean?
This man made gathering at the temple on the Sabbath forbidden. He defiled the temple with a pig's broth. The man placed a Greek statue of Zeus in the temple. He even had the nerve to appended the title Epiphanes, meaning God manifest, to his name. But many people refer to him as Antiochus Epimanes, the madman.
How did things turn out?
Judah Maccabee, a Jewish priest, led the Maccabean revolt against the Seleucid Empire.
Sharon, thank you for presenting these matching worldwide events. They have aligned with the prophecy of Daniel chapter 11. Our next guest is from New Jersey. Fellow Lions, please help me welcome Jenel. Welcome Jenel. Thank you, Professor Anderson. I want to shed light on 3 key world-changing events that the Book of Daniel provides prophecy on: the rapture, the tribulation, and the return of Christ. Now we all know that the worldwide event of Christ's return has not happened yet, nor the 7-year period of tribulation, or the calling home of all saints known as the rapture. But let's work our way backwards through some of the events the Book of Daniel says will occur before Christ's return. All right. There has to be a major worldwide coordinated event that brings in a new world leader, known as the Antichrist. Ooh, what can you tell us about this Antichrist? Do you recall the statue showing the 4 empires? The final prophecy showed a combination of iron mixing into clay, forming into 10 toes. Did you know in 2009 the Lisbon Treaty or Reform Treaty was signed? This treaty is an international agreement that formed the constitutional basis of the European Union. The Constitution also divides the Union into 10 worldwide regions. Have you ever seen this European building? Now compare it to the Tower of Babel. Wow, that is interesting. Revelation 17 verses 3 also talks of a woman riding a beast, called the Mother of Harlots. There is a statue outside the tower building. There are 679 seats in the conference room. While these seats are allocated to members, 1 seat remains unallocated and unoccupied. The number of that seat is 666. The prophecy of Revelations 13 verses 18 also provides insight of this number. Thank you, Jenel. We will certainly be keeping a watchful eye on who, or what, yes, who or what fills that seat. Fellow Lions, please help me welcome our next guest, Christopher, from Georgia. Welcome, Christopher.
Thank you, Professor Anderson. Are there world events from Team C you would like me to expound upon?
The closing statement of a who or what statement for the Antichrist, very interesting.
Daniel chapter 11 verses 37 through 39 gives specific insights about the Antichrist.
Such as
1. Having no regard for the God of his fathers. This shows no commonality with male tradition or customs. 2. Having no desire for women. This shows no connection with humanity or desire to protect the female. 3. Having no regard for any god, for he shall magnify himself above all. This shows no common sense. Only the language of robotics and demonic spirits are voided of knowledge or knowledge of God. Therefore, our research of prophecy in Daniel chapter 7 verse 7 tells us this Antichrist beast is not like the others. Connect this truth with today's computer chip implanting enhancements, or connect with today's cloning and digital enhancing technology, or connect with a company desiring to play God, then we.
What do you mean by a company playing God?
The European Organization for Nuclear Research, known as CERN, grabbed headlines when a former director quoted these words: "The super collider could open otherworldly doors to another dimension for a very tiny lapse of time." Even today, a goal is to recreate the Big Bang of the evolution belief.
Where is this place?
Listed in Switzerland, but located between France and Switzerland. Would you care to see the company logo?
In conclusion of your research and discovery, what revealed truth has Team C received?
Would you accompany me on a short trip, Professor Anderson?
Yes. Where have you taken me?
This is a theater balcony. It is from here we watch scenes unfold. As we experience the highs and lows being acted out, we cannot worry or fear the truth. Remember, whenever you feel a gap between His truth and His peace, have faith in His grace. It is the connector to His peace. So let's watch the conclusion of the prophecy of Daniel and rest in His peaceful truth.
Behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet, part of iron, and part of clay. Thou sawest, till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. The stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth.